Hey, everybody. Welcome to the crash course on the economic value of strategically hiring military veterans. I'm Robert Ewers III. And in short, that just means I'm going to give you a business case for hiring veterans. And when it's done strategically, it's definitely a win-win. So we're going to jump into it here. All right. So there are three programs that I'll speak about today, though there are many. These are just some of my favorites. The first one we'll talk about is the DOD Skillbridge Program. With this program, the veteran can spend the last 6 months of their active duty service as a temporary employee at the company. Since they'll still be on active duty, the military will continue to pay their full salary while they go to work for your company. For example, if John goes to work for Bank of America, let's say in the prime brokerage or investment banking division, if this typical salary is $100,000, Bank of America would effectively save about $50,000 for every employee hired through this program. It's definitely a win-win. Well, the key here when you ask how does it work is that your company has to become an industry partner of the Department of Defense in order to bring the veteran on. The link to the application is in the slide deck, so you can just email me or direct message me for the link or the deck. The next two programs are a little bit different, but they'll involve the GI Bill instead of the Department of Defense, and the program is ran through the Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, I like to call the GI Bill our golden ticket of opportunity because I personally think that skill acquisition is one of the most important aspects of human life, and the GI Bill allows us to have access to the opportunity to enhance our skills or learn new ones. The GI Bill is normally used for college, essentially, but I'm actually going to talk about the ways that the veteran can use their GI Bill to work at your company. That brings me to the next one, which is the Veterans Affairs Apprenticeship Programs. As the name implies, this program allows veterans to use their GI Bill benefits to learn a trade or skill in professions such as plumbing, welding, carpentry, and similar things like that. And these programs require training periods where the apprentice is typically paid. So the cool part is the GI Bill could offset the cost of the training the veteran by up to 50% for the first 6 months of their training by way of the GI Bill's monthly housing allowance. In New York City right now, that monthly housing allowance is $3,234 per month. And this amount decreases by 20% every 6 months until the 24-month mark. So here's an example. John is an electrician who wants to get his license to become an electrician through a company in New York City. His apprenticeship is 1 year long. If his salary for the first year is typically $50,000, in 6 months, it would typically cost the company $25,000, but they can actually pay 50% of that typical amount while he's in that apprenticeship status. And the GI Bill would kick in and actually pay the veteran about $19,458 for the first 6 months and $15,566 for the second 6 months, in addition to what he would make from the company during this training period. And in order for the company to be eligible for this program, they have to be registered with the VA, and the process typically takes about 30 to 60 days. So the next one is called the Veteran on the Job Training Program, also known as VA OJT. And this program is basically the same as the apprenticeships. I think it's pretty much just semantics here, but the key is that the job types are typically a bit different. Traditionally, this program has been used for fire departments and police departments, but within the past 10 years, it's also been open to restaurants, hotels, hospitality training programs, the IT industry, the financial industry, the trucking industry, pretty much every single industry. One key detail to remember is that the company has to bring the veteran on with the intention of hiring him full-time and for a role that has already existed. And there has to be a training manual for this role. I can get a little bit more granular, but this is the crash course. But the rules for this program is basically similar to the apprenticeship program in that The GI Bill offsets the cost of the veteran employee's employment with the GI Bill monthly housing allowance for up to 24 months. Now, let's break it down in a quick example here. John recently graduated from Fordham University and still has 6 months of his GI Bill benefits left and lands his dream job working for a huge consulting firm. And if he wants to use the last 6 months of his GI Bill benefits to work at that consulting firm, that firm will get registered, which is just a few forms and signatures by leadership. And during that first 6 months of his role, his salary would be offset by the GI Bill housing allowance, similar to our previous example about the apprenticeship. So here's an example. Let's just say John's first year salary is $80,000. 6 months of that would cost the company about $40,000. Therefore, the business has the ability to save $20,000 for the first 6 months of John's employment. The GI Bill would kick in to offset that and pay the veteran directly about $19,458 for that 6 month period. All right. And all right. So here, most business leaders, when I say that, they say, Robert, I'm not really interested in paying this veteran less. And I say, that's great because you don't have to. And as a business leader, you can think of this as a part of the employee benefits package. We know that happy employees tend to stick around longer, right? And this is definitely a very economical retention strategy for your company. All right. So to sum it up, the difference between the apprenticeship and the VA OJT program is that the career fields for the apprenticeships typically have a regulated certification process, while with the VA OJT program, there aren't many restrictions to the types of careers or the career fields that can be involved in the program. The only ones that are restricted are the doctors and lawyers pretty much, but there are also some really cool programs that exist specifically for them too. The main point that I like to drive home is that hiring veterans is a good business decision, especially if your company has an internship or development program of any sort. So that was a crash course on the economic value of strategically hiring military veterans. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.